Hello. Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, we will continue where we left off. But before that, let me correct three mistakes, or rather one mistake and two lack of knowledge. So when we were discussing JSON array, I made a mistake that I tried to combine the query expression with absent or null. Now, this time we will specify absent or null. So for example, we take this query and as you can read, if absent or null is specified, null values are ignored. So what we are going to do is we are going to put a null in this. We first select this. So it gives us that. And now what we will do is we will put a null. And when we put a null, it is not selected, right? By default, it is not selected. Now what we do here is we can say absent or null. So that will also not cause any difference here. Okay. Now, what else is there? Null values are ignored. Okay. So this null value is ignored, and by default, absent or null is taken into account. Okay. So that was that. And the second thing where I got stuck was these two queries. Okay. So here, if you read this description, you have JSON B @ JSON path. And the description says that does JSON path return any item for the specified JSON value. So now we look at the JSON value. It is an array with values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we look at the JSON path. We have dollar, which will match the root of the JSON, and then it looks for a key A, which will match the key for the array, and then it will match all the elements one by one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will be matched separately, and they will be tested whether those values are greater than 2 or not. So first two values will be false and last three would be true. So if any is true, any of these is true, it will return true. Now the second case is that @. Okay, so it returns the result of a JSON path predicate check for specified JSON value. This is useful only with the predicate check expressions. So here the predicate is similar, but it will return only one value by comparing all 5 at a time. This one return 5 different values, but this will return only one value. So even if one is true, the entire expression would be true. And we see that it is true for 3 elements. Oops. So where were we? Okay. So now we continue our discussion further. We were at I missed 9.16. We had covered this. We had covered this. So we were here. Okay. I'm not sure if we had covered JSON underscore object. I think we have covered JSON object. This function we had covered. And now we will cover from here. So JSON underscore object, you specify keys as a text array and values as a text array. And JSONB is also there. This form of JSON underscore object takes keys and values pairwise from separate text arrays. Otherwise, it is identical to the one argument form. So here pairwise we have keys and we have values, so it will become JSON as an output. Then we have JSON takes expression and format is JSON. By default, encoding is UTF-8 with or without unique keys. So converts a JSON expression as text or byte array string into a JSON value. If expression is null, SQL null value is returned. If with unique is specified, the expression must not contain any duplicate object keys. So for example, when we convert this JSON, this string to JSON, It is converted like so. Then we have JSON underscore scalar, takes an expression, converts a given SQL scalar value into a JSON scalar value. If the input is null, an SQL null is returned. If the input is number or boolean value, a corresponding JSON number or boolean value is returned. For any other value, a JSON string is returned. So you can see that if it's a float is returned, and for current timestamp, a string is returned which is acceptable in JSON format. Then we have JSON serialize, which takes an expression, format JSON encoding UTF-8, returning data type, format JSON encoding UTF-8. Converts an SQL JSON expression into a character or binary string. The expression can be of any JSON type, any character string type, or byte array in UTF-8 encoding. The return type used in returning can be any character string type or byte array. The default is text. So we serialize this to a byte array. So we have a JSON string and we return it as a byte array. And this is the byte array object of the JSON string. Then we have expression is, optionally not, JSON value scalar array object with or without unique keys. This predicate tests whether expression can be passed as JSON, possibly of a specified type. If scalar or array or object is specified, the test is whether or not the JSON is of that particular type. If with unique keys specified, then any object in the expression is also tested to see if it has duplicate keys. So we select JS, JS is JSON, JSON question mark, JS is JSON scalar, scalar question mark, JS is JSON array here question mark, and from values 1 to 3 and ABC, and then we have AB, and then we have 1 2, then we have ABC, then we have foo.js. So 1 to 3 is JSON true, scalar true. Is it an object? False. An array is false. ABC is also JSON. Is it scalar? Yeah. And it is not an object, an array. For the object type, the scalar becomes false and object becomes true. For the array, scalar and object become false and array becomes true. And this ABC here is false for JSON, and see, it is in single quote. Here it is kept with double quote, so it's a string. It's a simple scale. It is not even scalar. It is not an acceptable value in JSON. So it is F for this. Then we have select JS, JS, similar stuff, JS array with unique keys and array without unique keys. And we have the values A1. So it is, if you look at A1, then it is JSON object. No, this is not JSON object, from values. So it is the value we are selecting. Then is it an object? Then that is false. Is it array? That is true. And is it without unique key? With unique key, false. It is without unique key. That is true now for B2, B3. For A1 it is false, and for B2, B3 it is true. Okay. Now we have JSON processing functions, which is table 9.51. It shows the functions that are available for processing JSON and JSONB values. We have JSON array elements or JSONB array elements, which returns set of JSONB or set of JSONB. Expand the top level JSON array into a set of JSON values. Select star from JSON array elements 1, true, 2, false. So if you select everything, you are given this 1 true and 2 false. Select array from elements text JSON, set of text JSON array elements text. So if you select from the array elements foo and bar will come out separately. JSON array length takes a JSON argument or JSON-B argument, returns the number of elements in the top level JSON array. So here, if you look at this JSON array, we have 1, 2, 3, and then we have 4, and then 4 is 5. And for empty array, we have 0 as the length. Then we have JSON underscore each operates on JSON and JSON-B and returns a set of record, key, text, value, JSON. Set of records, keys are text and values are JSON. So select start from JSON each and we supply an object. So key value pairs are separated. Then we have JSON each text and JSON-B each text. Again returns a set of record like previous one. Expands the top level JSON object into a set of key value pairs. The return values will be of type text. So note that this will iterate only on the top level keys. Okay. Nested once it won't go inside. So if let me show you, for example, this should do it. And we paste it, and let's say we do this foo, and what we do is we put a brace here and we say batch. Okay, and we select this. So you see only outer level is expanded. No matter what you do here, only outer level will be expanded. Then we have JSON extract path from JSON variadic path elements text. It returns JSON or JSON-B. Extracts JSON sub-object at the specified length. This is functionally equivalent to the hash greater than operator, but writing the path out as a variadic list can be more convenient in some cases. So we have JSON extract path from this JSON, and so variadic path elements. Okay, so the path elements, let's run this. Okay, so that it is more clear. So you see that the element which we want to extract is F6 and F4. Okay, now F4 is F599 F6 foo, and from that we extract F6. F6 is foo here. JSON extract path text takes JSON, and JSON-B also takes JSON-B takes JSON-B and variadic path elements as text. Extract JSON sub-object at the specified path as text. So it is similar to the previous example and gives the similar output. JSON object keys takes JSON and JSON-B and returns set of text. So it will extract keys. So keys here are F1 and F2 at outer level, and that will be extracted. F3 and F4 are nested, so they won't be extracted. Then we have JSON populate record and JSON-B populate record. Both take a base, any element, and from JSON, and any element is returned as the output. Expands the top level JSON object to a row having the composite type of base argument. The JSON object is scanned for fields whose names match column names of the output row type, and their values are returned into those columns of the output. Fields that do not correspond to any column names, output column name, are ignored. In typical use, the value of base is just null, which means that any output columns that do not match the object field will be filled with nulls. However, if base isn't null, then the values it contains will be used for unmatched columns. To convert a JSON value to the SQL type of an output column, the following rules are applied in sequence. A JSON value, a null value, is converted to an SQL null in all cases. If the output column is of type JSON or JSON-B, the JSON value is just reproduced exactly. If the output column is a composite row type and the JSON value is a JSON object, the fields of the object are converted to columns of the output row type by recursive application of these rules. Likewise, if the output column is an array type and the JSON value is a JSON array, the elements of the JSON array are converted to elements of the output array by recursive application of these rules. Otherwise, if the JSON value is a string, the contents of the string are fed to the input conversion function for the column's data type. Otherwise, the ordinary text representation of the JSON value is fed to the input conversion function for the column's data type. While the example below uses a constant JSON value, typical use would be reference to a JSON or JSONB column literally from another table in the queries from clause. Writing JSON popularity record in the from clause is a good practice since all of the extracted columns are available for use without duplicate function calls. So here we create a subrow type as dint etext, create type myRow type as aint, btext array and c subrow type. Select star from JSON popularity record null of type myRow type. So myRow type is this column. A colon 1, B colon 2 and AB. So B is an array, you see, and A is one integer, you see, and C is subrow type. So C contains D and E. So D is 4 and E is ABC, and X is foo. So you see, the output is 1 for A and 2AB for B, and the D4 and EABC for C, and X is ignored. JSONB populate record valid. Base any element from JSON and returns a boolean. Function put for testing JSONB populate record returns true if the input JSONB populate record would finish without an error for the given input JSON object. That is, it is valid input, false otherwise. So we create a type JSB char2 as a char2. Select JSONB populate record valid null colon colon JSB char2 a colon AAA. Now if you see, it is 3 characters, but we had only 2, so it will be false. And so it is too long for type character 2. So that is the error we got. And if we put 2 A's, then we get true. And again we have 2 here and A here. Then we have this true. So I think I'll stop here. I don't want to push it too long. In the next video tomorrow, we will continue from JSON populate record set. And it's quite a big one. That is why I don't want to continue and finish this. Okay, it will be not possible to finish this. So we will finish this in tomorrow's videos. And I hope that I was able to correct my mistakes and bridge the gap in my knowledge. So thanks a lot for watching the video, and I hope that you find this video useful and informative. We will meet again tomorrow in another video continuing this discussion. So once again, thanks a lot for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one. Keep learning, stay curious and enjoy.